All advertising has an impact.
Rather are they against advertising which is boring or in bad taste?
This is Not Your Mama's Marketing Podcast, a show for any business owner or professional that isn't afraid to step out of the box to create advertising that actually gets your company noticed. My name is Brianna Duckworth, and I'm the owner and founder of GoDuck Marketing and Media in West Virginia.
And I'm Lindsay Berardi, the digital marketing and account manager and Brianna's right-hand gal. Each week, we'll be discussing creative tactics that will help achieve real results for your small business.
In other words, this is Not Your Mama's Marketing Podcast. Let's get into it. Hi there, and welcome back to Not Your Mama's Marketing Podcast. We are so excited about what we're talking about today because it is our bread and butter. So today we're talking about why digital marketing is the current MVP.
Well, I can give you the very short answer is everybody is digital. Everybody is on their phone, on their computer, on their tablet, smart TV. Everybody is digital nowadays. So if you want to reach people, you got to meet them where they're at.
Exactly. And, you know, there's never been another time where you can literally advertise in someone's pocket.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things is just not only are you meeting people where they are, but you're literally able to advertise to someone in their pocket.
Anytime, any day. So what is digital marketing? That's really any advertisement that you see on a digital platform that's powered by the internet.
I feel like if you're watching this, you probably don't have a question of what digital marketing is. You've seen it, but we're going to talk about a lot of stuff about digital marketing, maybe some terms you might not have heard of that would really help you in your business when you're looking at stuff, when you're trying to figure out how to do digital advertising. Maybe you've done it before and it's not quite worked for you. We've had lots of clients who've come to us and been like, we've tried digital advertising before and it just didn't work for us. Well, it's not just throwing money at something that you post. There's more to it than that. And if you're actually going to be able to maximize the money that you spend on those advertisements.
I think when people think of digital marketing, they think of like those banner ads that you see on a website or like a social media boosted post, but that's just like you're
top of the
barely
iceberg.
Topping the iceberg there. This is everything from those boosted posts, those kind of digital display ads you see across websites. This is also like sponsored searches. This is influencer marketing. This is email marketing, text message marketing. The list goes on. I mean, it is so many different things. Even streaming commercials are considered digital.
There's a lot to digital marketing.
But one thing that they all have in common, and that's our favorite thing that we love to push about it, is that you get all the data. You get all the numbers.
Data. Talk data to me. Because you can check on your ads and how they're going the whole way through. That is not something you can do with traditional marketing. It's just not. You can create an ad for print, for newspaper, but how would you have ever known? I mean, you might know how many of those newspapers are being sold, but how do you know if someone's actually looking at your ad, if someone's actually called you because of the ad that they saw in the newspaper or because they passed your billboard? Those are things that are much, 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 much more difficult to measure. But with digital marketing, what sets it apart is that you can measure everything. You can measure the entire thought process of your customer. You can, if you link, your website to your ad, and then you can see, okay, this person just passed up my ad and didn't even think about it. This person stopped on my ad for 3 or 4 seconds and then continued on. This person actually clicked on my ad and went to the website and spent some time on the website. This person clicked on my ad and actually bought something from my website. This person, you can know every single buying habit of your customer base. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun for us to look at those things and be able to see what's working and what's not working.
So, of course, content always matters, but I'd say the perfect digital marketing plan is a combination of so many things. I think that's why a lot of people we've heard say that it doesn't work for them is, well, they might have a really good commercial, but they're targeting the wrong people. Or they're targeting the right people, but it's just like a real basic generic graphic that people are going to pass up. So my idea of a perfect digital marketing plan is the right content and message combined with the right targeting on the right platform. That's a perfect plan in a perfect world.
There's a lot of psychology behind ads, and I think we talked about this actually in our last podcast, in our branding podcast. We talked about the psychology behind when someone looks at the content that you're putting out, how do the colors make them feel? What the content that's on there, is the wording too small for them to be able to read as they're scrolling through? Or is it too basic? Is it too busy? There's a lot of factors that go into whether or not someone is going to click on the ad and follow through with the sale.
Yeah, it takes a lot to actually get to that point, because you might find people. That's what I love about digital marketing, is you can find people who are interested in you, or they might not even know they're interested in you at every single buying stage, from when they've never even heard of you, first time hearing about you, and then from just being aware that you're there, and then they keep seeing your ads, and then they're like, hey, I might check them out a little bit more because I keep seeing their ads. And then there's just so many different buying stages that you need to be aware of, and you can target people at every single stage when you're doing digital marketing.
Yeah. At GoDuck, we do that's one of the biggest things that we do, and why we kind of have these do-it-all packages, because we believe, and it's been proven through data and research and all of this stuff, that all of these things matter in order for a digital marketing campaign to be successful. And so we do this every single day with multiple different types of businesses and types of business owners and marketing directors and all kinds of stuff, that people that we work with. And we like to go from the very beginning, come up with the brand, create the best content, make sure that it's a nice mix of content, and then you put the ad dollars behind it.
When we've talked to people that have said digital marketing hasn't worked for them before I even put out any ads, there are so much work going into just researching who I'm trying to target for my client, where they are, like literally where they live, and then also what kind of social media platform they're on, what kind of streaming devices they're watching, and then what they actually want to see. That is going to vary greatly between your demographics and your different targets.
Mm-hmm. You can target all the way down to someone's favorite cereal. It's very specific, the ways that you can target people if you don't think that your phone is listening to you at all times. It is.
I know what you're in market for. I know what you're looking to buy. I know your basic demographic info. I can target you based on the time of day. If I want to target you on your tablet more than your phone, I can do that. It's kind of, it's nice for me, but it's real good for me.
Yeah. It's true though. It's the world that we're in now. We're in a world where you can be tracked. Your buying habits can be tracked. The ads that I get are very different from the ads that my dad gets. And, I've never once seen a lawnmower ad targeted to me.
Really? I'm very surprised about that.
Dad gets them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you're probably seeing them. Like, I know you guys are both on Facebook. So that's what I mean. You guys are on we're talking about the same platforms, but what you guys are going to see is going to be completely different.
Yeah. Everybody's on the same platforms. You got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Your grandma's on TikTok.
Your grandma is on TikTok.
Oh, I'm sorry to say if you didn't know, but she is.
And every single person is completely different in terms of what they like, what they're interested in seeing. And that's why you're only going to be getting content that these platforms believe you will buy, or whatever makes you stay on the platform is what these companies are trying to to target towards you.
So everybody's heard of the algorithms now. Everybody's pretty aware that the algorithms are at work, but that's not just for your feed. That also applies the same thing to ads, is it wants to customize everything to you, and that includes the ads you're served.
So why is digital marketing the MVP? I think we've gone through a little bit of why digital marketing is the current MVP, but we also didn't mention the fact that a lot of times it can be a cheaper option than traditional media. Now, of course, the more money you can throw at it, then the more you're of an impact it's going to have. But at the same time, if you're a small company, if you don't have a humongous marketing budget like these big corporations that are pushing hundreds of thousands of dollars towards these ads, you can still utilize digital marketing, and you can utilize all these things that we're talking about. Figure out your target audience, figure out your geographic location that you're targeting this to, figure out exactly what your clients or your customers like, and then you target that specifically. You're going to maximize that smaller budget that you have.
It would be much easier for somebody with a smaller budget to get into digital marketing first, because especially if you're trying to do a billboard, you're trying to do some newspaper or local TV stuff, that stuff can be pretty expensive. And especially that normally needs to be very planned, has to be done way in advance. This, like digital marketing, you could start a campaign right now and it can go up right after you post it.
It can go up immediately. For all that other traditional media, you've got a lot of work that you have to do leading up to it. And also with one billboard is the cheapest option in the worst part of town is still like $800, So
it ain't cheap.
It's not cheap, and it's not. You could be utilizing that $800 with digital marketing in trying to just reach your target audience and who you are actually trying to get to. And you can do a graphic, you can do a video, you can do photos. You've got all kinds of more options when you're doing digital marketing versus if you were spending that just on a billboard. I'm not knocking billboards,
but that shouldn't be the only thing you're doing.
Yeah, if you only have a billboard or multiple billboards and you're not really doing any kind of other marketing, any just print marketing, you have to be able to combine those with other things. And it's better to start with digital marketing. That way you can look at the data, you can look at the analytics, and you can see who's actually interested in your ads. And then you can start targeting specifically to those people too.
And you can customize these even to like your own goals. This can be like campaign based or just your business or marketing goals overall. Like if you're going for just broad reach, broad awareness, increase market share, you want more sales, you want more foot traffic, whatever your goal is with this, it can all be done with some form of digital marketing. So I love it. I love it so much.
So what is the best digital marketing for your business? That's the question that you have to ask, is which platforms should I be on? Which platforms are my customer base on? Where are they? You first have to determine where they are, and then you can start targeting them.
Yeah. I think most people, if you're a business owner, you have a pretty good idea of who your current clientele already is. So I would start there. Start with who you already know comes to your business. Start there. But it all is going to depend on the type of business you are and what you're selling.
So let's say you rent or sell big construction equipment. And so you have a very specific audience or customer base. If you're selling big construction equipment, I'm probably not the one that you want to be targeting. You don't.
Yeah, if you're serving ads to her with that, you're just wasting your money,
Yeah, you don't need to be wasting your ad dollars on me because I'm not looking for big construction equipment. None of my buying habits online say anything about me wanting to buy big construction equipment.
And it's kind of hard because in the construction industry, you can't describe the construction industry as one common person. These people are so different. They come from different backgrounds, different demographics. They're traveling constantly, a lot of them.
And different types of big equipment too. You've there's a lot of different types of equipment that you're selling here.
Or they're based out of Texas, but they're working here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and someone who's looking for maybe like a coal mining equipment isn't going to be the same as someone looking for a lawnmower. It's different. So, the point is you have a very specific audience and a very specific type of person that you're trying to target.
For something like this, an example I would give is you wouldn't even have to really create any content. Make a sponsored search campaign on Google for people that are already looking up your service and product that will boost your website to the top. And then if they've gone to your website, then do retargeting. And that will continue to make them aware and get your name out there more.
The goal is keeping you top of mind. The typical kind of psychological research here is that it takes approximately 6 times for someone to see your name, your logo, your ad before they actually decide to follow through with it. And so because of that, our strategies follow that trend. So you have to be able to be top of mind for people. They see your ads enough to where when it's time for them to need something, oh, I forgot about that company. I just saw all of their ads on Facebook or on Google, or I just saw them in the Google search and they looked like they were the right fit for me. And so being able to know which platforms those people are on so that you can keep that going and you can stay consistent. It's that consistency of being top of mind that will set you apart from your competitors.
And I think if you're trying to get into digital marketing, you probably already know this already. You'll probably already know where your new customers come from, whether that's if they call you, if they actually come into your store. Try to gauge how people hear about you. Just mention like, hey, how'd you hear about us? If you know somebody's new, just at the end of a sale, just be like, hey, how'd you hear about us? Mm-hmm. And I always love to hear when it's Google or Facebook.
Yeah. Or anything that we've done means we're doing our job well.
Yes.
So basically, digital marketing is a large umbrella term for a lot of things. Knowing the right digital marketing, just saying like, I want to do digital marketing, there is a strategy that has to come along with it. If you just do a couple clicks on Facebook and you just put $5 behind a boosted post and put it out there, it's not going to have as much of an impact as you might think. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's where some of those clients who've come to us and been like, we've done it before, but we're not interested in doing it now because it didn't work for us then. That's sort of where it comes from, there's a lack of understanding.
Yeah. So digital marketing, when you say digital marketing, you're not talking about one single thing. That could be so many types of platforms and strategies and campaigns, and even the types of media you're putting out there, whether it's a video or just a display ad, a graphic, or pictures. It could be so many things, combination of things. It's not just one.
There's a lot of options. And different platforms require different strategies. What you do on TikTok is probably not going to be the same thing you do on Facebook or Instagram. It's all very different. Or on Google. I mean, people are looking for different things when they're on these different platforms. And that's just something that you have to be aware of. Also, people hate ads. Because it's an interruption, right?
Is that news? I don't even like ads sometimes. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, don't they annoy you? Don't ads get on your nerves? I mean, if you're watching your show, you're like, ugh, a commercial break. I hate this. I wish I could just keep watching my show. Or when you're scrolling through Facebook and you just get ad after ad after ad, and then you finally see a picture of your grandma. So the point is, ads are a nuisance. So how can you make your ad not that? Mm-hmm. How do you make your ad interesting enough to where someone doesn't feel like their moment has been interrupted by something they're not interested in? And I think that that's where digital marketing has a chance to stand out, is you can be creative and you can make something that actually makes you stand out from the crowd. And, you see, I think the last time we checked, you see an average of about 5,000 ads a day
That sounds about right.
That's a lot of ads.
Most of them come from digital anymore too. I think
Yeah.
a lot of that's digital. You have a small budget. I'm picturing a small business with a small budget. If you really want to make your digital marketing count, your content, the message, and the targeting all have to be on point for you to sell your product or service to the right person. Because it is going to take a certain person that will actually give you a call or walk through your door. And you want to find those people.
Yeah.
You want to get them.
Yeah. So here's your answer. You're a small business. You need to get your ads out there. You need to grow your business. That's the goal for all of us, right? Everybody in business wants their business to grow. So you want to do marketing, you're not sure about it. Take your budget, the budget that you have, figure out your target market. Figure out your geolocation, where you're going to be going. Come up with some creative ads, some ads that don't feel like a nuisance to you. And creating different campaigns as well. I mean, anything like that you can do that's creative, that cuts the mold, that goes against what your competitors are doing, and that just stands out.
I'll say for every single one of my clients I have right now that I'm doing digital ads for, I have different campaigns running for all of them for people at different stages of the buying process. I will say that again, different stages of the buying process. You need to target everybody where they're at with your business.
And finally, here's what you do after you get your first digital marketing campaign. You get your first ads out there. You study the data and analytics, and you understand what those numbers mean. That way, when you create your next campaign, because it's probably not going to be perfect, your first one.
No.
It's, you've got to do the studying and the research and figure out, okay, so this ad worked, this ad did not. And sometimes that's just life. That's just how it happens. Sometimes you can't predict the way that people are going to view the things that you put out. You got to look at that data to be able to determine exactly how you're going to move forward. And how interesting that we're ending on that, because our next podcast is called Talk Data to Me. And it's going to be about studying just that, data.
Our favorite thing really is, though. I sound like a nerd, I feel like, when I say that, but I love looking at my analytics.
It's what works, man. It's what works.
And it gets better over time. Like, we even have that with our own clients. Of course, the first month we work with someone, it's not going to be perfect, but it gets the second, third month after that, we start to get in a groove, and then our analytics are starting to look pretty good, and you can really understand who's interacting with the business and all that good stuff.
Well, that's one thing. When you determine what your marketing budget is, stick to it. Figure out a budget that you can realistically do every single month, a monthly budget that you can do, because consistency is better than if you were just throwing a bunch of money at one thing. I mean, you want to stay top of mind for people. So come up with that consistent marketing budget and stick to it for a year. See what it does just in a year. Just in a year's time, how much have you been able to accomplish? How much more people have you brought in? How much more customers did you get just with this one budget?
Yeah, I wish we could make stuff happen in like a week, and our clients just blow up, go crazy nuts within a week of them hiring us, but it never works that way. It takes time.
It does. That's not realistic. And anyone who tells you that it is a big fat liar, because it's not true. You have to work for the ads. You have to figure it out. You have, you probably won't really start seeing those results until 2 or 3 months in. And that's just how it is, because people have to hear over and over and over again. They have to see your ads over and over and over again before they're going to make that decision. So digital marketing, there's a lot to it. But if you can do it right and correctly, and you can actually optimize that ad spend that you're putting out there, whoa, you're going to see that difference and you're going to grow and you're going to be like, man, I can't believe I didn't do this earlier.
I'm so glad I listened to that podcast.
Man, I'm so glad GoDuck Media told me all about what I should be doing.
You're welcome.
Go ahead and tell everyone else that too. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. Make sure to go and follow us on all of the things. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on everything. If you look up GoDuck Marketing and Media, you will find us somewhere. And be sure to join us next month for our next podcast, Talk Data to Me. We'll see ya.
See you then.